welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Janelle, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to do hip lock down. So let's get started. I want you to get into a neutral spine. So we're not concaved and we're not releasing, but our belly button to spine, we're standing nice and tall, our crown of our head is in line, and our knees are gently bent. Good. Now our chest is nice and lifted, but our rib cage is closed. We are gonna take our left knee and we're gonna straighten it, and we're gonna take our right knee and bend it. And all I want you to do is start by switching the knees back and forth. I want you to really think about elongating the oblique with the knee that is down. So the knee that is more bent, elongate the oblique. Good. Now that we can feel those muscles working, stand tall again. Hip locks can be done on your toes or flat-footed, and I'm wanting to teach you right now with your heels up just a little bit so that you can find the isolation. So we're gonna take that left hip and we're gonna deeply bend that left knee more. Then we're gonna take the right hip and deeply bend it more while straightening the opposite. So as you bend one knee and straighten the other, we begin to find this teetering situation back and forth. Bend both knees. Now bend one knee more than the other. So I'm gonna bend my right knee a little bit more than my left, and then I'm gonna bend my left knee more than my right. And what this does is begins to switch the hips like a little escalator, right and left, which is different than a bump that goes outside. Lower the heels. Let's try the same exact thing. Good. Now that we have this motion, and you can feel the opening of the oblique, start to create it a little bit sharper. Boom. Boom. Good. So we're taking that right hip and slamming it towards the heel, and taking that left hip and drawing it towards our heel. Think straight, down, 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 and up, 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 up. Let's try this with music and a little bit of a different timing, so just follow along and dance with me. All right, we're gonna take this with the music. Right hip down, left hip down, right hip down, left hip down. Beautiful job. Flat feet, nice and traditional. Start to frame the hips. Releve. Good, we're on releve. Belly's engaged. Shoulders are back up and down. Beautiful job. Let's lower it in releve. Go low. Hey. Bring it back up. Good. Now lower the heels. We're gonna lock one and hold it. Lock lower and hold it. Lock lower and hold it. Lock lower and hold it. Thank you so much, guys, for your hip lock drops. If you want more variations, contact me and we will get them going. Here are a few tips to help you get your hip lock down. One tip is practice on your toes, like I showed you in this video. So coming up on your toes and just switching the knees back and forth and thinking about the heel and the hip bone sliding straight down the oblique. So straight down. Good. And our knees are just switching, switching, switching. As you see, they're still both bent. One is bent a little bit more than the other. Good. Another tip of mine is make sure you are standing up tall. There's this common misconception that belly dance is done like this. Well, all that's gonna do is hurt your back and give you kind of a weird shaped body that isn't exactly attractive. So pull everything in and pretend like you're at a ballet bar. Your crown of your head is nice and long, the rib cage is closed, the belly is navel to spine and it's pulled in, and the hips are not twerked up, but they're neutral. So we don't want to tuck either. We don't want to do the opposite so much that we're now tucked, but we want to just be neutral. So when we're in a neutral spine, our hip locks, our hip lock downs, good, also called just lockdowns, are nice and clean and we can see them. Now if we were to sit our hips back and do them, we're gonna lose a lot of the visual and we're gonna hurt our back. So to protect your back, pull your belly button in, stand nice and tall, gently bend the knees and lock down from there. Good, great job. And begin to frame the hips, keeping them in place so that we create a larger illusion of our hips locking downward. Awesome. Lockdowns can be incredibly fun to create fun variations with and to play with, and they also can be a bit challenging sometimes. So our goal is to actually open up the oblique as we lock the hip down. So our accent isn't the hip, but it is the opening of the oblique. So as we lock our left hip down, the opening of the oblique is really the action that we're seeing. So if you can think about that, it might help you. You don't want to think about the opposite hip bumping out to open the oblique, because now we're doing hip bumps instead of hip locks. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this little mini how-to course will help shape your dancing. And don't forget to please hit that little red button and subscribe.